How we doing, guys? I hope you've had a great weekend and you've trained hard and worked hard. Good. So we are talking about fat loss in this video. I promised I would put a small video out on fat loss. I'll try and be very quick for you all. Now, the problem I have when I made some notes about recording this is it just goes on and on and on and on, and you know, you start with the two topics, two major subjects of nutrition and training, and even there's 5 weeks worth of material. So we'll record more than one. We'll just say this is part one of 4 or 5 different videos. Good. Let's start off with probably the most important thing and the most basic thing is keep your training short and sharp. Okay, it's the biggest myth ever that you lose fat by spending hours and hours in the gym training. In actual fact, recent studies have proven that any training over an hour, particularly of the same type, can in actual fact store body fat. So standing on the cross trainer, the treadmill, or the bike, or the stepper for more than an hour actually can have the reverse effect. It actually can begin the fat storage process, especially if you haven't eaten many hours prior to training. So there's the first big tip for you guys, is not to spend hours on aerobic training. It doesn't burn fat. The second most important tip, and the what do we do about that? What do we do instead? The answer is short, sharp, hard, interval-based, tough training sessions. Okay, so we get off the long drawn-out stuff, and we get off of the high rest periods with the weight training. Remember, we're talking about fat loss here. If it was marathon training or hypertrophy-based bodybuilding, of course, you need to look after that training in its own entity. But for the purpose of fat loss, it needs to be pick 5, 6, 7 exercises, work continuously through them, straight after, one after the other in a circuit-based format. Have as much rest as you need to recover. Work really, really hard for sort of anywhere between a minute and then 2.5 minutes. Work maximally for that period of time. Take anywhere between 30 seconds and a minute and a half rest, and then do the same again. And try to be almost working continuously for 30 to 45 minutes. Actually, research proves that anaerobic, strength-based, power-based exercise that I'm discussing here can use anywhere up to 5 times the amount of energy, or create 5 times the amount of energy deficit than just standard aerobic-based training. So that means for 30 minutes of hard, intense exercise, you are actually getting 4 to 4.5 hours worth of aerobic exercise without the negative balance in that you might even be storing fat whilst you're doing the long drawn out cardiovascular stuff. So the benefits of this are immense. You can train in a shorter period of time. You can use less time on training. How cool is that? That you actually use less time training than you're doing now. You may even be able to do it 5, 6 times a week for half an hour, 45 minutes, rather than 2, 3 times a week for 1.5 to 2 hours. Remember, 1.5 to 2 hours, you're probably storing more fat than you're losing whilst you're in the gym. So the message for this first part is on training is cut your workouts down and make them more sharp, more intense, work hard and get in and get out of the gym. Good. So as I said, this will be an installment of videos on fat loss and how to train in the gym. What we're going to do is we're going to post in some workout videos and some exercises that you can use over the next few days. We've also got an abdominal exercise for you based on the video from last week. Just a quick note, guys, before I run off and say thank you. I mentioned there was 2 sides to fat loss. One was the nutritional side of things, one was the training side of things. I'd just like to say a quick hello to 2 very good friends of mine and 2 people for me who are the best nutritional brains that I haven't met ever. One of them is a lady called Emma Robertson, based in the north of England, and one is a guy called Ben Pratt, based in the south of England. What I'll do, guys, is I'll flick you some links to their site so you can go on and read a little bit about them, maybe even flick them a question and get some information. I hope you enjoyed this very small, short video. Plenty more to come on fat loss. Remember, guys, keep the workouts short and keep them tough. Cheers.